Hey everyone, Jenna Bradshaw here, host of Holistic Human Performance Podcast, and welcome back to another episode. I am thrilled to be here with you all to educate you. And today I want to talk about some misconceptions and some ways that people neglect their health, or maybe just don't even know where to start, and that's okay too. Today's going to be a little bit of a quicker episode, but I really did want to touch on this point because I believe that there are some main themes that I see when I'm working with students, clients, when I'm chatting with people, when I'm teaching classes. I notice a pattern with people. And so far, what I have noticed and observed is that number one, people completely get overwhelmed when it comes to all this information that's out there about health, and they don't know where to start. Number two, they don't know what they need and they don't know themselves. That's a big one that I see. Most people don't know what they want and don't know what they need. Deep down, they might know what they need, but they don't have the willpower to take action. They need someone to guide them, to show them the way. And then number three is really just, I'm just going to say it, laziness of not wanting to go through the process of figuring out what's going on with your health. And when we see this can be very dangerous because you're neglecting your health and you're doing yourself a disservice really by not educating yourself or working with a coach or a professional. And a lot of people will corner themselves because they'll go by what one doctor says. And okay, totally fine, right? However, if you don't like what that doctor has said to you, you're going to be like, well, now what? And then you just kind of give up and throw in the towel and you're just like, well, I'm not going to do anything. Like, it is what it is. Here's the thing. When you go to more of the Western medical doctors, which great, I have my own physician as well, but I also have my holistic doctors as well. And I believe that people need to be doing both. You need to be getting opinions from more than one doctor. And I'm not saying it just has to be a doctor, but if you're dealing with a serious health adversity and a diagnosis, then yes, you should go see a doctor. And, people will throw in the towel and give up because they're like, ugh, my doctor diagnosed me with this. And what that does is it forces you to believe that that's what you have. But guess what? You may not even have that. Really, what a doctor does when you're going in there in the Western medical field, allopathic, you're going into the doctor, you're saying, hey, I have this symptom, this symptom, this symptom. And then what happens is they diagnose you with this term and this name for the bundle of symptoms that you are suffering with. But what I believe is that puts yourself into a tizzy. Well, it can be for some people. Some people have the mental resiliency to be like, oh, okay. And they take what their doctor says with a grain of salt. I'm like that. Or you can go into an absolute tizzy and you can be like just spiraling because your doctor tells you something and then it may not even be that. You may not even have that. But because they can't figure out your symptoms, they're saying, hey, take this pill. And then guess what? More symptoms come up. More symptoms pop up. So now you have something that's a root cause that you're not sure what it is on top of all of these other symptoms that you cannot manage. And then your doctor puts into your head, hey, you have this. And then you constantly think and think and think. And then soon you get said diagnosis and said dis-ease. Really what disease is a lack of ease and flow within your body and your physiological system and your human energy system. And it plays out in symptoms that are uncomfortable. They can be painful. They can be overbearing and overwhelming, and you don't know what to do. And people go into spiral. Now, I'm really grateful to be in the position I'm in where I can help educate others on health, fitness, and wellness in a very holistic approach. And really with a focus of Eastern medicine. Now, I'm not a doctor. However, I do my research. I've written books on this. And I really want people to understand that having more than one opinion is vital and it is crucial. If you haven't heard my other episodes, I do speak about this where when I was 20, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. Initially, they did not know that it was cancer. However, it was a 4.3 centimeter nodule, and they said, hey, this needs to be removed. And this is what the story I'm about to tell you is a prime example of why you need to go see more than one doctor. So the first doctor I went to go see, and he goes, okay, well, we know that your thyroid has to come out. We're going to take the whole thing out. You're going to take radioactive iodine, and you're going to take Synthroid for the rest of your life. And I knew deep down that that was a hard no for me. That was not going to happen. I was going to find some other way to get around this and still acquire my health. And I said, ooh, yeah, that's not going to work. And he goes, okay, well, what's your other option? I was like, well, I'm going to see this other doctor. And his face kind of changed. And he said, oh, I studied under this doctor. And I'm like, okay, well, I know what my answer is. So I went to go see this other doctor, got a second opinion. And guess what? He said, it's encapsulated. We're going to take out only half of your thyroid. And we don't know if it's cancerous or not, but either way, it's still 4.3 centimeters. It still has to come out, and no radioactive iodine and no Synthroid. And that's it. I said, all right, I guess that's my choice right now. Now, when I was 20 years old at the time, right now I'm 29, and I did not know what I know now. So I kind of wish I went to go see a holistic doctor as another opinion, but that's okay because it was meant to play out and happen this way. But that's my example of going to see more than one doctor. There are other resources out there. You just have to find them, and you have to ask questions. Remember, when you're going to the doctor, you're the one that's in charge. You're the one that's basically interviewing them. Don't allow them to bully you or tell you this is what you have when you're like, I don't know, doc, like this doesn't seem right. I mean, it's just, that's what you have to do. And I'm sorry, but people get lazy, and I understand that it's overwhelming, but you're in charge of your health. Nobody else is in charge of your health. So you need to figure out what's going to be best for you. And what's part of it? Doing your own research, being your own patient advocate, talking to other people who have been through that, getting involved with communities who might know the answer for you and might be able to guide you in the right direction. Again, everybody's different and you're going to have your own journey, but I think it's super important to be your own patient advocate and figure out, okay, this doesn't work for me. I don't like you. I don't think you know what you're talking about. And yes, I respect the Western medicine. I think modern technology is playing a huge role in helping people heal on a different level. For example, they have a body scan, no radiation, and you literally go through the body scan and it will tell you, okay, any form of cancer that might be in your body starting at ground zero. Okay. So stage 0. And, that is something that people it's not really spoken about. Now it's getting more spotlight, but again, this is where doing your own research, or for example, cancer, and I speak about cancer heavily because, hello, I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. Cancer cannot live in an alkaline state in the body and an oxygenative state. So there are different modalities such as hyperbolic chambers and oxygen therapy to help kill cancer cells. So, I mean, that's not really spoken about. Your doctor's not going to tell you that. You have to do the research on your own. And this is where the Eastern medicine comes in, because you have other modalities, other tools, other treatments that might help you, where maybe you don't need to go down the route of chemotherapy and radiation. I've met women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer, and guess what? They went to go see a holistic doctor. They went down their own rabbit hole of research, and they cured themselves by doing this stuff with no surgery, no chemotherapy, no radiation, no surgery, and their cancer's gone. And there are stories out there that are like this. And I highly suggest you research and do your own reading, do your own research. And I think it's really important, again, to just stand in your own truth and stand in your own light that, hey, this isn't going to work for me. I don't accept this, and, keep it moving. There was another research study done where they took two groups, all of which were cancer patients. Half of the group went through chemotherapy. The other half did not. They got actually a placebo, and they were told, hey, you're going to lose your hair during this treatment, during chemotherapy. Guess what? Both groups lost their hair. Cancer doesn't act in which where you're losing your hair. No, the treatment is what causes that. The chemotherapy is what causes that. So you had two groups. One went through chemotherapy. The other was placebo. Both groups lost their hair because they said, hey, you're going to lose your hair during this treatment. So you had one group that didn't even get chemotherapy, and they still lost their hair because they were told something that was a quote unquote belief that was going to happen. And guess what had happened? Because they thought in their mind that that is what is supposed to happen. So you need to be mentally tough and mentally resilient in order to enhance your health and well-being and live a quality life and thrive. Because if that's the case, you're allowing other people to dictate your life. And I'm sorry, that doesn't work for me. Actually, I'm not sorry. That just doesn't work for me. And so that's what I teach people. And that's what I like to talk about. And I really think that we all need to step up our education game. Yes. Does Western medicine play a role? Absolutely. However, we need to jump on the bandwagon and really into more of the Eastern medicine and how both are very powerful together. They are very potent. It's not one versus the other. It is, okay, both are very powerful. Which one is going to work best for me in this moment, in this time? And that is the decision that you have to make. You need to look at all of your options and make the decision that is best for yourself. And this is where spirituality comes in and energy, because we need to tap into our intuition. And again, like I said, I was 20 years old and I was talking to, one of the best doctors, and he was telling me, we're going to take out the whole thyroid. You're going to do radioactive iodine. You're going to be on this medication for the rest of your life. It went against every fiber of my being. And I knew that the answer was no. I was like, no, that is not going to work for me. And I literally told him, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And he kind of was just like, oh, I'm like, no, I said, is there any other option? And he basically told me no, which I'm sorry, that's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit for him to tell me no. However, the doctor is doing the best with what he has. And, he knows I'm young, and he was like, oh, like, you're young, you'll bounce back. But that's not really what I want to hear. No, that's not how I want to do things. So, just take what the doctor says with a grain of salt and really do your research on the doctor. Look at the reviews, look at the patients that have gone to see this person. I fired doctors before. I don't care. You're not doing me any service, and you're actually doing more harm than anything. And again, it's not a matter of fighting the doctor. It's just a matter of like, I don't subscribe to you. I don't like what you have to tell me. I don't believe this. So, again, you have to look at the options that you have. and know what is best for you. I'm not telling you to completely just nix Western medicine. I'm just telling you, be aware. That's all. And that's pretty much what I got for you guys today. So I hope this was kind of just something that I've been seeing and something that I want to speak about. And yeah, I really hope this helps. And what I want to do is help people to really ponder and to really think. I want people to think for themselves, not somebody else thinking for you. I want you to think for yourself, and I want you to tap into your body, tap into your energy, tap into what you know to be true, and really make the best decision based on that, and use your inner guidance system to help you, your spiritual team, your own energy system, your intuition, your soul. Let your soul lead the way. Make decisions that are going to be best for you and for your quality of life in the end. And that is the most important part. I hope this helps. Again, I have a ton of resources on my website, holistichumanperformance.co, with videos and digital courses. I have holistic health coaching, and, that's specifically what I do for people. I have my book, A Survivor Story, for people who maybe have no clue where to start. I would say my book would be the best starting point to just get your feet wet and start to absorb this information and start to think about it. And Cancer Fear Freedom Program is starting February 13th. Again, this is for anyone who is battling cancer, who is a cancer survivor and going through survivorship, caregivers to cancer patients, anyone who is fearful because they may be predisposed genetically. We must realize that fear sucks the life out of our soul. And if you are thinking ill thoughts, you will become ill. And that is really what I want to touch on. And I'm going to bring you through the exact method called the Sacred Connection Method, which is my second book, called The Sacred Connection, of how all these different facets of holism. So we have the mental, we have the physical, we have emotional, spiritual, and energetic, and how all of those buckets play a role, and they act as a domino. So if one bucket is empty or overfilling, it's going to affect the next bucket. And energy is what connects all of these buckets. So I'm going to be teaching you exactly what I did to help release this fear of a cancer reoccurrence, because I can firmly say that I do not believe I will ever get cancer again. And I am thriving in life. I've never felt better. And just realizing that you can incorporate peace into your life, and you can release that fear, and whatever underlying low vibration emotions that are posing on your life, you can release them. And that is what we'll be doing in our masterclass, the Cancer Fear Freedom Program. It will be starting February 13th. It will be for 6 weeks, one time a week, where we meet online, virtually, and we go through everything: nutrition, fitness, movement, meditation, journal prompts, breath work, energetic healing, all of these components that help you enhance your health and quality of life. Again, if you think ill thoughts, you become ill. If you think well thoughts, you become well. It all starts in the mind. And that is exactly what I want to help people with. So if you like this episode, like, share, subscribe. You can find this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, a bunch of different platforms. And the full recording will be on YouTube. So check that out. Pass along to other friends who need to hear this. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.